Hi everyone, my name is Corrine Perry and I'm an assistant librarian for the Gypsy Jackson Memorial Library in Homedale, Idaho. This presentation showcases the work that was completed for my final capstone project through Oregon State University's Masters in Natural Resource program in June of 2020 and a smaller project through San Jose State University's Digital Asset and Services Certificate program occurring simultaneously. I'm still working on completing the certificate program through an Info 281 metadata remote course this fall, so this presentation will go a step further to identify different methods of developing a core foundational framework for cataloging map materials, with a focus on specifically MARC and Dublin Darwin Core. Thank you for having me. The purpose of this presentation is to demonstrate how both the fields of librarianship and natural resources could be combined with the use of GIS technology. You will see how a digital map can sort images and video clips. As you know, geographic information science is the science of where, rooted in the science of geography. Geographic information systems are computerized systems for capturing, storing, checking, and displaying data related to the positions on the Earth's surface. A GIS librarian is a map librarian. Utilization of GIS began in roughly the 1960s, when the world's first true operational GIS was developed, followed by Moss and Grass GIS public domains in the 1970s, Esri and other commercial vendors for GIS in the 1980s, and free open source platforms at the turn of the century. What is a digital asset management system? It is an informational management strategy that organizes digital material, images, videos, graphics, logos, etc., in a singular location, allowing the user to maintain intellectual and operational control of their material. The image you see here is an example of what I refer to as a digital asset management system for cataloging and archiving digital assets, images, and video clips collected for specifically a digital GIS map with vector point data. The DAM would be ArcGIS Online. The digital asset strategy takes field-collected informational data points from respondents, catalogs the information to the digital terrain map, color-coded based on their type of response, and then allows users to click on each data point to obtain additional information related to the time and place of the data capture, the content collected, and images and videos related to this site. The taxonomic structure, a similar concept of taxonomy organization in the biological sciences, involves organizing this information in a hierarchical 5-main layer process. The image you see on this slide is layer 2. In order to view the map and make it understandable, I cataloged it with descriptive text, a title, information pertaining to each data layer used, and social media shareable access permissions. Before you can open the map in Map Viewer, you need to view this informational page. The context found here is similar to the information found in a digital library catalog like Apollo. This is layer 1. The more detailed the record, similar to a MARC record, the more understandable it is to a user reviewing this information. You can tag the asset for users to link to similarly related maps. Credits are provided to demonstrate contributors. Digital users are even able to provide comments. This is still layer 1. The purpose of the Capstone's informational data points was to integrate digital assets and GIS technology while creating an interactive layered digital map experience of a graduate research journey that would support the larger thesis. The larger study was a focus on developing a coexistence strategy for humans and gray wolves through a human dimension surveying process and collection of digital assets. The result was images and video clips cataloged and stored inside of an Esri ArcGIS spatial terrain map. This published map is available for public access. You can click on each point and get information on the survey results, as well as view images related to each site. The descriptive text box with fields where the arrow is pointing is layer 3. The Google Photos album to the right is layer 4. The deepest layer of the data is the metadata that explains each image or video clip within the surveying process. Metadata is data about data. In this case, it is the data on the right side you see inside each Google photo. The images are archived inside each data point for users' reference. This is layer 5, the deepest layer. Darwin Core derives from previous standards, including Dublin Core, but focuses on organismal and taxonomic characteristics of biodiversity. For this project, it means going a step further and making the metadata on the right of the Google images more detailed by inputting the photographic information into Darwin or Dublin Core fields. This core represents interoperability and how we could get metadata from one scheme to the other and eventually harvest the data. For example, at the core, you will find geological context, taxon, organism information, and location of the species. Dublin Core is a set of metadata elements. Its purpose is to create records according to a simple standard. MARC catalogs the material that was once on card catalogs. Dublin Core catalogs digital objects, image collections, and similarly related. Dublin Core conforms to RDF, Resource Description Framework. These metadata schemes help to make library materials discoverable and usable by complying with the standard. Dublin Core does for digital objects and images what Darwin Core does for species biodiversity and taxonomy. This is a sample Darwin Core record from the International Wolf Center data regarding the species and its taxonomic classification structure. This site provides information on the species classification structure, including kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, and genus. The second portion of the Darwin Core scheme includes the higher classification taxonomy. This wraps up my 5-minute brief lightning talk on GIS, STAM, and librarianship. If you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me here. I hope you enjoy the rest of this conference.